Greetings, creative ones. It's Melissa. Happy June and happy 666 manifestation portal. Really powerful energetic codes coming in today to support the highest love, to support your full potential in the highest loving context. So wow, so much going on. I know that I have been quiet and integrating, like many of us, these higher frequencies, as well as continuing to take steps on a daily basis to ground my highest visions in action, right? All that is, just a quick reminder, all that is required right now is to put your passion into action on a daily basis, you know, really working from the heart at its simplest form, and taking that next step, and then taking that next step, and then taking that next step, right? We may have to pivot, we may have challenges, which are really just opportunities to get clear, right? Because clarity creates, consciousness creates. When we are clear, when we are decisive, and we are acting from the heart, we are in union with the divine, and we become a channel and a conduit for the highest love in physical form. And that is our current reality right now. That is our current potential. And so some of you may be still feeling the density and the shadow, the darkness coming up to the surface, whether it's individually or collectively. And that is all normal. Know that that is going to come. You may go through, you know, waves of expansion and then contraction, and then expansion and then contraction. And that's life. That's us vibrating into, that's Gaia, you know, vibrating into these higher frequencies, and us assimilating that energy and clearing and transmuting and alchemizing the density within us, right? We are transmuters. We are transmuters of energy, right? So that is our highest potential right now, is to be able to really detach from what's going on the external world, not from a place of denial and by any stretch of the means, but in a place of discernment, of knowing that we are here to be the solution. We are here to hold the light, the higher frequencies, and to create from a place of higher consciousness. And we can only get to that place within our own alchemy, right? So if you have stuff coming up, you know, whether it's in the physical body or the emotional body or the spiritual body or the, you know, energetic, right? The mental body, right? All these, you know, your mind chatter might be just like really intense right now. And that's actually really normal when you are elevating out of a lower frequency, right? And you're clearing belief systems that no longer serve your sovereignty, your soul's full self-expression, and your soul's purpose and mission and message, and really truly your own wholeness, you know. And I've learned that and saw that from years of being in the studio with people, you know, in the creative studio, with intuitive painting and alchemical art, and the process of alchemical art, right? Like whenever we're about to have a big breakthrough and really come up against a shift in consciousness around a limited belief system about ourselves, our identity, the world, reality, the divine, God, you know, we've been so programmed into lack and limitation, and that's gotta go. You know, so we're all going to have our own journey with those frequencies, right? With those beliefs within ourselves. And the way that we change the collective is actually by breaking through them, right? Through our own limitations and becoming the solution, becoming the change, and defying, right, those old limitations to reality in the third dimension or in the matrix. So a lot of that's happening right now. So if you are moving through a bunch of density, just know that there is expansion on the other side. If you do invest in yourself, time, energy, money, support, whatever you need to get the structure, the support, the guidance to move through that with grace so that it becomes a way of life. Because I'm telling you, as Gaia ascends, as the earth awakens, as we collectively move into this higher frequency of energy, which is just more and more life force, right? It's more God source, whatever you want to call it, more creation, a higher vibration, right? That we collectively, as one, are embodying. It's going to push the density to the surface. It's going to push the shadow elements, the darkness to the surface, and it's up to us to transmute that within ourselves. That's how we change the whole, right? And that's how we create, and then we create the new from that place of consciousness, that newer, higher frequency, right? So the solutions to our current problems in the world come from a higher state of consciousness. So it's those that are really invested in doing that inner work, that inner alchemy, that are the leaders of the golden era, that are the leaders of change, that are the leaders, and it's really the creators of the new way of being that is in harmony for every living thing on the planet, including Gaia herself. So I think I'm going to wrap it up for today. But what I do want to share is that, you know, my original video at the beginning of this year for 2022 was the medicine is in the poison. And so we have to go through that darkness, right? And transmute it, because that's where the wisdom comes from. That's where the grace comes from, really, truly. That's where we get activated into our own soul's growth and what we need in order to serve our highest potential, our highest love on the planet and in this lifetime, and to fulfill our soul's mission, which everyone has. You know, every living being has a divine purpose, a divine mission, and it's so important right now. If you're feeling, you know, like you're being tossed around in a salad spinner, you know, get clear on what your purpose is. You know, you can set up a complimentary call with me and we can start that process, or find someone that you feel aligned with that can help you get clear on that, because the clearer you are, the more centered you're going to be in your own core and your own soul, and it's going to be much harder to be, you know, bought or your energy siphoned or whatever, because you're just super focused and being true to you at the deepest level and to creation. What else did I want to say? Oh, I am super excited to announce that I'm going to be opening up 2 retreats, upcoming retreats. One has been in the works for probably over a decade, and it's finally happening in France this August. It is a journey on the Magdalene line for awakening, activating, and alchemizing the sacred feminine through intuitive painting, through the alchemical arts. So it's going to be a blend. If you've ever painted with me before, it's going to be a blend of intuitive painting and that shamanic journey for a week. We're also going to be in France, in Provence, with a lovely chef who's going to be taking care of all of our nourishment. We're going to be painting outside, and then in our breaks, we're going to be going to visit the local Mary Magdalene sacred sites for activating that sacred feminine within all of us and within the planet. So we're going to be doing some grid work. We're going to be doing some alchemical art and some activations. I'd love to have you join us. This is a very intimate retreat. I'm only taking 6 people. It's the first time I've done it in France. And also I like to keep these retreats intimate and small because of the nature of the work. It's very deep work, and it is a sacred journey. And you know, I paint also, so we are journeying this together, right? It is a co-creative experience, and so yeah, so if it's calling you, the Sacred Feminine Activation Retreat in France in August, message me for details, or you can book a call and see if it's right for you, and I'm happy to share more details with you then. I'm not really putting this out into the public, so you do need to set up a call if it's calling you, so that we can see if it's a good fit, because it is a very powerful retreat, and it really is for those women that are called to anchor, activate the sacred feminine, the empowered feminine, right? The feminine principle, which is in all of us, but this is specifically for women who want to heal the sacred feminine, to heal, to evolve, to empower, to activate, and really be a conduit of those energies on the planet right now, because that is so deeply needed for us to come into balance, into wholeness, and into this next stage of our evolution. The next retreat is here on Martha's Vineyard in September. It's my annual retreat. I haven't done it in a while for obvious reasons. The biggest one really being is being a mother to Sophia. I think I've done it once since I've had my daughter here, maybe twice. I'm trying to think. And you know, these retreats are very powerful. They require a lot of energy to design, orchestrate, facilitate, hold space for. And so it's something that, being a solo, you know, independent, sovereign mother and solo parent, I've really had to be mindful of my energy and reserve it for you know, my child during this really crucial time. And now that she's a little bit older, she's 6, and we're living back full-time on the island, I really feel like it's time, and I'm really feel called to offer this retreat. And this particular retreat on Martha's Vineyard is going to be co-ed. It's for women and men. It's for those evolutionary leaders that are ready to dive deeper into their own, you know, visionary capacity to activate their own, that feminine principle, the intuitive, the psychic, the their own soul's codes and purpose, and how to integrate their inner union, the balance, to come into wholeness, to balance in their masculine and feminine, that sacred union, for expression in this world and through their own leadership and everything that they create. So it is for those that feel deeply called to go into these deeper places, to unlock, activate the codes, to transmute, to learn alchemy, to master their own inner alchemy using the alchemical arts, using paint as medicine. You know, and a lot of people compare paint medicine to plant medicine, and I will say this because it's come up a lot, and I'll probably do a video on this and a post as well. But you know, the difference between paint medicine and shamanic art or intuitive painting, painting as meditation, process painting, is that, and plant medicine, is that you're not using substances. I mean, you're using the power and the vibrational currency of color and the imagination, right? You're using your own soul's muscles and strength, and your own psychology, right? In your own visionary capacity, your own spiritual gifts, to unlock, right, your spiritual power through the process of art, right? Through alchemical art. That's why I call it alchemical art. It's the expressive, intuitive, transformative arts, right? So when you bring that intention to painting, you really have to journey through the development of your own soul's potential, right? Multidimensionally. So when I say multidimensionally, I'm talking the mental body, the emotional body, the spiritual body, the energetic body, and the physical body. And painting is one of the only modalities, one of the only, you know, intuitive painting, one of the only quantum, right, multimodal modalities that allows you to develop all and come into union with and harmony with that multidimensionality, right? So many modalities, you know, like sound healing, or even dance and movement, or, you know, energy work, you know, are only, even just traditional psychotherapy is only working with one or two dimensions, right? One or two bodies. The power of painting is that you're working multidimensionally and you are doing the work. There's no energy work. There's no, you are the shaman. There's no shaman doing this to you. You have the power, and it really supports you and activates and anchors you in your own spiritual power, actually in all of these dimensions, right? And so it's a very, very, very powerful form of, you know, creation of evolutionary development and growth and activation. So if you are called to join me on Martha's Vineyard, again, I'm only having 6 people. This is a co-ed retreat. It is for men and women, and we're going to be painting outside in the beautiful Indian summer of New England, here on the island, which if you are unfamiliar with the magic of this particular island, you know, maybe I'll stay tuned and I'll start sharing some of the details about Martha's Vineyard and why it's such a potent place for doing this work, similar to France and the Magdalene line. Okay, much love to you. And again, if you're interested in any of these retreats or working with me privately, just book a complimentary session with me. Link is in the bio or in the comments below, wherever you're watching this. And I'm sending much love to you this June.